Hello and welcome to the next episode of Snatcher. What a ending to Act 2. So it turns out Gillian's some sort of professor, eh? Who would have thought that? And we took out the chief. So we might have put a bar on the Snatcher's immediate plans for the Kyoto summit, but we don't know what else they have in mind. So let's continue and find out, shall we? Let's go back into the world of Snatcher, Act 3.
With the start of this year's Kyoto Summit just 3 hours away, the delegates from the participating countries are beginning to arrive at the conference center. A major poll of domestic and international opinion, carried out just last week, shows that the vast majority of respondents favor a complete quarantine of Neo Kobe as a means to combat the risk of the Snatcher menace.
Now that the Chief's death has been confirmed, it won't be long before they strip us of our Junker authorization.
They will be deciding how to handle Neo Kobe at the summit in just 3 hours.
There are rumors that they're going to use nukes on the city to make sure the Snatchers are wiped out.
That's ridiculous. Come on, this is the 21st century.
That may not be as improbable as it seems. The world's leaders are extremely concerned about the Snatcher problem.
The Chief was going to calm this hysteria in his speech at the summit, but that'll never happen now.
3 months ago, government pressure on Junker operations increased dramatically. Gillian's transfer here was really our last chance.
Our own chief was snatched. It's not too surprising they don't want to trust us anymore.
I've heard that the Army and FBI are going to take over operations now.
That's correct. That too will be officially decided in 3 hours' time.
3 hours, eh? Is there any way we can find their hideout in that time?
If we don't, we and everybody else in this city are finished.
As far as they're concerned, we're just like a cancerous tumor that has to be cut out.
We have to hit the Snatchers' headquarters before then.
Gillian, can you do it?
If we only knew where it was, I should be able to manage something.
Hitting their outposts like Queen's Hospital won't do any good. We have to find their main nerve center.
What about the memory of that snatcher who was impersonating the chief?
Just like the others, it was completely blanked. It's a form of self-destruct mechanism that they use.
Wait a minute. Mental. What about tracing that video phone call from Jamie?
It was no good. The call didn't last long enough. Still, it definitely did come from within the city.
Damn. Where are they hiding?
Gillian, can't you remember anything at all? Didn't Jamie say something that implied you were somehow connected to the Snatchers?
Nothing. I can't remember a damn thing. Metal, I want you to tell me everything you know about me. Why was I sent to Junker headquarters? Where did I come from?
Gillian.
Metal, the chief's dead. Tell me everything you know about me.
Well, you see...
Metal!
All right. With the chief gone, you are the highest-ranking officer here.
You knew all along?
Of course.
Where were we rescued from?
3 years ago, you and Jamie were taken into protective custody in the Siberian Neutral Zone by the 17th Siberian Investigative Force. More precisely, you were discovered in cryogenic sleep pods in an underground bunker near Moscow.
Cryogenic sleep pods? You mean they were frozen?
This is a photograph of the bunker. There is no record of when you were placed there. In addition, the third pod was empty at the time you were discovered.
There were 3 pods?
You were revived and taken into custody by the Army. Apparently, as a result of the extended sleep, both of you suffered from complete amnesia. However, another theory suggests your memories may have been intentionally erased. This is the only piece of evidence found at the site.
That's Harry's picture, from when he was a kid.
That's correct. Harry is Gillian and Jamie's son. It's been confirmed by DNA tests.
Harry? Harry was my son?
Using the information gained from the photo, it was established that you are Gillian Seed, and your wife, Jamie Lorraine. Both of you are American citizens, born in the late 1960s.
The 1960s?
In addition, both of you vanished without a trace in 1989. There is no other information available about you after that.
1989?
Yes, you come from a world that's been gone for 50 years.
But what does that have to do with the Snatchers?
When the 17th Special Investigative Force was bringing the two of you out, there was an accident. Though the two of you were all right, most of the 17th was killed. One of them was a Snatcher. Of course, before their departure, they all underwent thorough examinations. So, if one of them was snatched...
It had to be somewhere in Siberia, right?
That's correct. And in order to attempt to determine the origin of the Snatcher, as well as your true identities, you were assigned to Junker Headquarters. The hope was that exposure to the Snatchers would help you regain your memories.
Moscow? 50 years ago?
Almost everyone who was in Moscow at the time was killed in the catastrophe.
So Gillian and Jamie are the only living witnesses?
Harry was my son. Did he know?
No. It was highly classified information. He was never told.
I was never able to do anything for him.
Wait a minute, Gillian. Didn't Jamie say something about taking a boy hostage?
That's right. They must know about Harry and are using him to threaten her.
We have to find their headquarters quickly.
We've only got 3 hours.
Gillian, let's think this all through again. We may get some kind of a hint out of it.
You're right. There may be some clue in the way they're operating.
All right. Let's go over what we know about them.
First of all, what's the Snatcher's weak point? As we all know, they don't like ultraviolet rays. That's the Snatcher's weak point. That's correct. Their weak point is their defective artificial skin. Long-term exposure to ultraviolet rays causes mutations in the melanocytes in the spectrum baseless of their skin, which becomes cancerous. Specifically, long ultraviolet rays in the 250 to 350 nanometer range is responsible for causing the cancer. That's right. That's the reason they are so limited as to when they can be out. They only come out at night in the middle of winter and wear sunscreen even then. That's the method that Jean used to figure out what the Snatchers were up to. How ironic, it turns out that the destruction of the ozone layer actually had a benefit for us humans. See, it's not all bad people. That's right. Now, what methods were they able to use to move and be able to avoid the ultraviolet rays and sunlight at the same time? Let's think about this. They were using the underground, weren't they? So it had to be the underpass. That's the method of movement that the Snatchers were using. That's right. They were using the abandoned tunnels of an old tube liner system to get from place to place. That's how they were able to move around without being noticed. Nielsen's apartment, the old factory, Queen's Hospital, all of their hideouts were connected by the tube line. So maybe there's a tunnel under their main base as well. There's a good chance of it. Next. What phenomenon was always observed at any location where Snatchers appear, including the underground tunnels? That's sneezes. This is the phenomenon you're talking about. That's right. And what was the cause of the sneeze? Snow 9. This is the reason for the sneezing. You're correct. The sneezing was caused by the presence of the allergen Snow 9. Snow 9 is an artificial form of pollen developed by the military, and its presence is limited to certain regions. They were using it to interfere with radio transmissions and keep people away. They probably were producing it intentionally themselves. The only regions of the city where Snow 9 is still present are the areas around the inner river, and it has been cleared out of other areas because of the danger it presents. So that means their base must be somewhere near the inner river, right? That is a fair conclusion. They're probably somewhere near the inner river, protected by the Snow 9. Accessible to the tube line and near the inner river, so there must be some intersection that crosses there. And we must not forget the 3 photographs that we found the Snatchers with. All of them were related to the Soviet Union before the catastrophe. The map on the wall of Nielsen's apartment, the picture of the temple in the director's office at Queen's Hospital, the photo of Red Square hidden in the chief's office. Why do all these Snatchers keep pictures of memorable like this? Maybe they're homesick, maybe that's where they come from. Homesick? Get serious, Micah, they're robots, you know. Let's analyse this a little closer. What city is related to all 3 of these pictures? Of course it's Moscow. This is the city they have in common. That's correct, it's Moscow. Moscow must be where they come from. This must be the basis of their programming. You might be right. Just as people have a hometown that is dear to them, their creator may have put a hometown into their programming. They use very advanced artificial intelligence systems, so they may have needed something like that to maintain their emotional balance. Yeah, they were born out of nothing, but they needed to give them some kind of image as an emotional base. So Moscow is their creator and their home, and the place that they found Jamie and I.
In other words, this homing instinct thing of theirs has led them to set up their headquarters in some place that reminds them of home, or their creator.
What part of this city is like Moscow?
Moscow's really cold, right? They get a lot of snow, don't they?
Snow?
No snow has been recorded in Neo-Kobe in several years.
Well, then that's not it.
Wait, what about that pollen? That crystal bioengineered stuff, Snow 9?
Now that you mention it, wasn't it snowing on Jamie's video phone call?
That's right. Their hideout has to be somewhere close to the Ina River.
The Ina River flows for miles around here, Gillian. We could never search it all in time.
Gillian, let's look at a map of the areas investigated so far. This is an enlarged view of the southwest portion of the city around the Ina River. This blue area is that in which Snow 9 is present. Now I'll superimpose a chart of the abandoned tube liner tunnels. From this we can establish those areas with Snow 9, which are accessible by subway tunnel.
Damn. Nice try, but it's still too large. We could never cover it in 3 hours.
Don't give up so fast, Gillian. What about that image of home thing we were talking about? Maybe there's some kind of geographic similarity. Maybe the same view can be seen or something.
I'll display a map of Moscow alongside.
It's almost identical.
What's this?
Look, the rivers are exactly the same shape.
This is the Moscow River over here.
It looks like we're on the right track, Metal. Show us the location that Jamie and I were picked up from.
All right, right here.
Metal, before the catastrophe, what was at this location?
The headquarters for the entire Soviet Union, the Kremlin.
The Kremlin? That Snatcher said something about taking Jamie to their Kremlin.
Metal, what spot in Neo-Kobe would match up with the location of Moscow's Kremlin?
Come on, extrapolate it, Mel.
This is the spot. It's presently occupied by an old church. It's rather large, but reports indicate it's been abandoned for nearly 20 years.
Ooh.
And it's right in the middle of the Snow 9 and subway area.
That's it! That's their headquarters, their new Kremlin.
Gillian, let's go!
Wait, Gillian. I want to go with you.
Sorry, Mika.
Hey, I'm a junker too, you know.
I know, and you're a great one at that.
So take me with you then.
You head to the summit to warn the delegates. They haven't given up, you know.
The summit's in Kyoto. I'm not going to be the only one to run.
You've got to convince them not to use nukes on Neo-Kobe.
We found their hideout. There's no need now to sink the whole island.
Yes, but...
It's a tough job. Can you do it?
Okay, Gillian. I'll do what I can.
Thanks. Thank you, Mika.
Don't say it, okay?
Let's go, Gillian.
Gillian?
Yes? What's wrong?
How about dinner sometime?
Dinner?
Yeah, you know, dinner.
Mika.
Not interested. I thought it would be nice, to kick back, relax. It's Christmas after all.
Christmas, huh? I'll be back by then.
Gillian, we have to hurry.
That's a promise, right? I heard you.
Yeah, okay. But I gotta go to church first.
I'll see you soon then.
Okay, Metal, let's go.
This is the last turbo cycle. Alright, now boarding the turbo cycle. I like that little shot there. It just opens up. We boarded the turbo cycle. Where would you like to go? Of course, I know the answer to that question. The church.
I've input the map data on the Kremlin's locations. Lift off.
Oof.
Flight configuration, now gaining altitude.
Jamie, please be safe.
Gillian, please keep in mind that we're working with a strict time limit.
50-year debt in 3 hours. Snow!
Snow 9, to be specific. We've entered the Snow 9 region. Please put on your breathing filter. Direct inhalation is dangerous.
All right.
Radio transmissions will also be impossible from this point on. Understood? Now descending. Conversion to hover configuration complete. Gillian, we've arrived.
Let's exit the turbo cycle. Wow. We've arrived at the church. Wow. Now I know why they call it their Kremlin. Let's use Metal Gear. We're gonna save it here. And we're gonna call this an episode. Thank you all for watching and join us next time for more Snatcher. Have a good day everyone, and hit that like button and subscribe if you like, and send me a comment below because I love reading them. Goodbye!